Yo YouTube, what's up and welcome back to another little video. It's Toronto time, baby. We're back. The day has finally come. I've been waiting for this event for literally months. We're back at another Masters, new teams, new faces. Some of them we've already seen this year. Some of them are back from last year, including PRX. But yeah, we had our first batch of games today. Team Heretics, PRX, and BLG and Team Liquid. Both games had their own positives and negatives, I guess. It was interesting seeing China play against the EMEA's third seed, but I think Team Heretics and PRX were what everyone's attention was on the most. This is a hyped game, all right? We've got a lot of star talent, and we've got a lot of story, you know? Of course, these teams played back in, Masters of last year in Madrid. Of course, that's where Heretics infamously choked. Benji Fishy on split was giving the wave to Monya, and then Monya went, hold my beer, and just they all popped off. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the little VLR analysis. This isn't going to last long, just a quick little overview of the stats and some of the things that I want to talk about. I'm going to be going over some of the rounds. That's going to be the way I'm going to do a lot of these Masters videos, is each day when I like a game that I saw, we'll VOD review some of the rounds that maybe gave a team some extra rounds or bonus points, and we'll also maybe talk about the opposition and how they should have played it differently. So a little bit different style of video, but I did this last year, maybe for Champions or Masters, I'm not sure, but we're going to do it again. So let me know if you like this kind of content, and if not, drop a comment. But yeah, as you can see, 2-0 to PRX. That is the veto. So PRX ban Haven, Heretics ban Split. Pearl is map 1, Heretics pick map 2 to be Icebox, and then Lotus remains. It's interesting to see that even Team Heretics are kind of scared of PRX's Sunset. And I almost think if teams and the community and people are just bigging this up too much, because yeah, PRX had an infamous, like, very, very unique composition for Sunset last year, but I do want to see a team kind of challenge them on it. And I almost think that, like, maybe teams are just too scared of the past and almost like, whoa, they were good at that last year, let's not play them this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if PRX actually play against Billy, because of course Billy did play against Team Liquid today, and Lotus was one of the maps. So yeah, we are going to look at Pearl, because respectfully, Icebox is the worst map ever made in any sort of competitive game. Delete it, please. Thank you. But yeah, this is the stat sheet of the final sort of first game. And as you can see, my goat, Jason, Forsaken, Sasanto, dropping 18 kills on Astra. Okay, I don't think there is a better flex player in VCT right now than this guy. Okay, because Astra, in my opinion, if you're going to say you're the best flex player in the world, right, I'm going to say, show me your Astra. Let me see your Astra. Because Astra's a hard agent to be good at, okay? And when you balance between playing an Initiator, Astra, a Duelist, a Controller, and then Astra, it's hard, man. And it's especially hard to frag out on Astra, because sometimes you're so focused on being in your Astral form and throwing out the perfect stuns and sucks and smokes and everything, that you actually don't have time to kind of play your own game. You can lose track of timings, you can just be in and out, and kind of get lost. So honestly, I don't think there is a better flex player than him right now. And if PRX do go ahead and win this event, he is, in my opinion, going to be hands down the MVP. Because I just think that this guy's the rock. This guy is the rock of the team, and to be honest, the vibes he's bringing into Masters this year looks interesting. He looks so kind of mature, I guess, where it's kind of like he's the vibes guy. He's making jokes with people. He's saying little brain rot, tatateam, tatatoom type thing. So honestly, I'm excited to keep seeing him play these new agents, play these different roles, and kind of just do whatever he needs to do to bring this team success. But let's go on to Team Heretics, all right? Because this is where I have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. And the first one I want to talk about is, why are we playing Woot on Breach, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, of course, I fully understand that Neil Zinio, Weber, the coaching staff, all have game plans, thought processes, and sort of ideas around this composition. But I don't understand, after Teo gets removed, and the meta has been the most open it kind of has been in a while, why we're having one of our star players play a breach. And I think, I don't know Woot personally, right? The only thing I can sort of go off of is the type of player that I see when he plays. He's not a breach player. He's not a supporting player. And I think if we actually look at his kind of agents, like the way that I see Woot is you put him on something that he doesn't have to do a lot. He can have his gun out 90% of the times, and he can shoot and shoot and shoot. And that's what he's good at, right? That's why he's on Gecko. Gecko, you don't really do much. You plant the bomb with the wingman, you throw a molly line up, and you've got a flash that you can flash for people or for yourself. And it's not exactly like you're having to constantly take into account your duelist player, your other players, and helping them gain success. Same with Teo. He's got a little iPad. You go beep, boop, boop, and rockets go flying. The drone is a drone, and same again. You can have your gun out 90% of the time. But even still, the KD that Woot averages compared to his Gecko is night and day. And I think that's because with Teo, you've got a lot more to do. And this is his first game playing Breach in 60 days. What about 90 days? Even in 90 days, it is his first... How many times is it? Yeah, his first time playing it. And I think this just doesn't make sense. Like, if I'm the coaching staff or just anyone in that Team Heretics camp, I'm saying, yo, don't put Woot on Breach, man. Don't overcomplicate it. Stop trying to play this incredibly macro kind of IGL and I'm playing 3D chess type thing, because I don't think you're that team. I think you're the team that has to just balance the youth of the team and then sort of handler and experience that Boo has. Like, in this meta, why are we playing Woot on Breach on Pearl? Especially, like, Pearl, you never see, like, double initiator with a Breach. It's always double initiator and a KO. So I don't understand that, and I think a lot of these issues kind of stem from the fact that nobody can get online. Not a single player in this game was able to play with confidence, get picks, and I think that's always something you can rely on. Is if everyone is playing a comfy pick, you're always going to pull kills out of somewhere. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter how or where. Someone will have a game, but in this game, nobody. Not a single person. And I also don't think it helps Miniboo. And I also think that if you're going to put Woot on anything, put him on a duelist, put him on a Jet, put him on a Reyna, put him on an ISO. I couldn't care. Play him on something that can allow Miniboo to go in with and just go, yo, we're just going to go and hit sites. Valorant maps at the moment and utility are kind of ass, okay? And there's too much utility. Players are too good at using this utility. And the maps are too small. So 9 out of 10 times you're playing retake. So you might as well just bin off all the complex strats of, right, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, when it's so hard to execute. So yeah, that's my little rant over about them playing Breach. But my also question is, why are we starting on defense, sorry, as Team Heretics, right? So it's PRX's map pick. And notoriously, from both pro players, coaching staff, whatever, everyone has agreed that it is mutually easier to start on T side when coming into a Masters or a global event, because you can play as a 5. Okay, there's not as much pressure to hit your shots, because if I am going in first as a duelist, I'm a little bit shaky and I whiff, okay? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to have 4 people behind me covering me to get the trade. So it's not like I've lost on a 1v1 because it's a trade. So it doesn't make me feel as shit. But Team Heretics, for some reason, decide to start on defense. And I just think Team Heretics have big issues with their mental confidence and just reaching that peak, right? Last year, Team Heretics, you kind of had a perfect year. Of course, you didn't win, yeah, but you came second at 2 vital global events, okay? So that's pretty good. And ever since then, these guys are trying to win their event, but they're not even getting back to second place. They are choking, and the mental wall that is in front of them every single time, it embarrasses them, and then they lose confidence again. So it's like, I just think I'm playing against PRX, a team that is notoriously throughout all of Valorant history known for pressing W and not letting go. So why would I want to start defense? Like, I would rather just go, right, okay, as an IGL, as a coach, number one, we got to get online. We got to start quick. We got to get online. We got to have confidence and enjoy ourselves. But for some reason, they've picked defense when there's 10 times more pressure to hit your shots. It's a close game against a really challenging opponent in PRX. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. But yeah, hey ho. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about for this little segment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through some of the rounds that PRX were able to take, some of them being really, really nice setups and clean executed strats, and then some of them kind of shows the nerves issue that I'm trying to sort of get through to you guys. So yeah, we'll hop on over into that, and I'll see you shortly. All right, so here we are in the first round that I want to talk about, right? It's PRX's bonus. They've got a decent, strong bonus coming into this round, right? They've got, what, 3 Vandals and two Vandals and a Phantom, a Bulldog and a Judge, right? If I'm PRX, I'm thinking, boys, we can get a really good, strong start into this game. We can get that snowball rolling and just get that momentum going as soon as we can. But they decide to go for an A main take, right? And it looks like it could just be a fast A hit. But I think they more kind of want to see, how do Team Heretics, on their full buy, hold A main? How do they take A main? When Pearl came back into the map pool, C9 were notoriously sort of popular for just full committing to that A main take. Because once you've taken A main and you've denied it with, it was Teo at the time, but Astra, Teo, Breach, Fade, whatever, it makes it really hard for the defenders to sort of do anything, because they'll invest a lot of util into that A main take, of course get denied, and they'll either pivot back over to middle or B, but at that point you've already taken A main. So as we can see, Team Heretics are going to 3-man commit to this A main take and just basically hope that they come out on top. So I want you to watch this through, sort of see the little micro things that Team Heretics decide to do, because it's actually really nice.
Or are these just going to be 2 teams running it down on each other? We might get that here. Look at the util set up for this A main fight. Miniboo fancies a little bit of it, but PRX is slower on the uptake. It's a smoke out on them, but they're going to try and follow this raise util in. Miniboo has a swing. Something gets ahead of it. Rienzo able to follow up on the grab well, and now will take up this position of boxes. And outstanding stuff for Rienz. Just what the doctor ordered. Forsaken is out of the game, essentially. How do we break back in? We're on the breach.
So, of course, that was a pretty interesting round. Bearing in mind, that was the only round that Team Heretics were able to get throughout this whole game. And I think, as much as you might watch that sort of, you know, clip and go, damn, PRX, you know, wasn't exactly a well-played, you know, round, but it actually got them a lot of information, because they realised, right, okay, so they play 3 bodies, a Fade, Breach and a Yoru. Yoru will have a TP over towards B as a rotator, but they play 3 bodies over towards A. That's really interesting. But not only that, their A main take is actually quite nice. I think it's kind of just, Jing kind of throws by jumping through the Astra smoke when it's like a 4v3, I think, or a 4v4, which really sort of just dismantles the whole round for PRX, but it's really nice. And something that's very unique about PRX's comp is it's a raise. Not many teams, if any teams, play a double duelist with a raise. It's usually a Jet and a Yoru, sorry. So I think, even for Team Heretics, this kind of makes the A main take a little bit more difficult, because this raise nade that Jing's doing separates the 2 players of Miniboo and Rienz for a solid 5 seconds, which kind of makes Miniboo isolated and have to slow down before he can actually get onto the angle to give info. And of course, the reveal's really nice. Rienz is on top of that. And this is where the smokes and the Astra sucks do come in. So, to be honest, Team Heretics had a nice timing here with the smoke and suck. But honestly, Miniboo, I think from this round, you kind of realise that nerves were going to play a big part into this game. And it isn't the easiest fight, but it's also kind of like, you get what I mean? Like, it's unlucky, but Miniboo gets those, you know? Most top duelist players get at least one there. I'm also unsure on if it's better to have a suck here or a concuss, because at least from my own personal experience, having a suck is a lot harder to hit the enemy than a concuss, because the suck actually sometimes helps the person getting sucked from actually dying, because you're kind of trying to track them in this gravity well. So it's really difficult. So I don't know. And then Rians and Wu are just look very, very well played, just able to kind of clean up this round. And that was the only round that Team Heretics got throughout the whole game. And I honestly think I'm going to give it to either Forsaken, Patman, or Devi for this next strat called. Alright, it's the next round, and what does each person decide to call? Well, Team Heretics are going to go over and take A main again. Could be a sign of like mental battles going on here. Of course, I think it was kind of popular when, was it EDG played against Vitality? The first event, I've forgotten what it was. Where like the mind games go on where it messes up, you try it again, you try it again, you try it again. And I think that's what Team Heretics kind of thought, or at least they want to condition that fast A main take every single round to honestly just trap PRX in spawn. But this is where the nice sort of adaptation comes from the PRX members that go, right, okay, they play 3 over towards A main. What if we just A split, right? And this is where Patman goes solo A main with a Prowler and a Clone. And then, as you can see, the mid players are slowly just going to go down middle, making it almost impossible for Woot, the Breach player, to get on a decent stun line to actually support his team. And it also forces Benji Fishy to quickly reposition over towards here. And this round, man, this round was crazy, because Jing has somehow, with his satchel movement, dodged the stun, gone on top of Brown Box, and actually wins this fight. And it's just too much. It's too fast. And honestly, it's not the worst setup, but I think this kind of makes Woot's life a bit hard, because not only does he have to go to A main to start the round, but he also has to get back over towards here for if they do go for a fast A split. And keep in mind, Breach got nerfed. His stun takes a lot more time to activate now, and it's not exactly like he can kind of peek off of this angle. I almost wonder if it would be better for Benji Fishy to play around here, and then Breach play around B-Link, and just stun over towards here like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's really not looking good for Team Heretics, because this is what I mean, is there's so much pressure for you to hit your shot on defense. And against PRX, you're just going to get traded. They play as a 5 9 out of 10 times. But honestly, it was a pretty well played round from PRX. But it's just fast, like instant trades. And not to be a dick, but the round after the one we just saw, this one, we see Miniboo kind of whiff again. And it's just, you can kind of just almost see the frustration that the players are going to go through, and it's only round 4, and if only they knew what was to come, if only they knew. But yeah, alright, same again, the round after last, and PRX decide to call a small kind of pressure over towards middle, right? And this is a decent mid pressure. They've got Astrostar here to just deny any kind of vision. You could contact into the smoke and pop out over towards Link, or you could just go through shops and just break the turret and go over towards B. So really nice pressure. Boombot and a Prowler. The Boombot lineup is actually really nice as well, and this gives them info that there is actually one playing over towards here. And as soon as they hear that, and Forsaken, who has literally just been over towards A main, seen they're taking A again, they just go, guys, let's just go and hit over towards B and just watch this hit, right? This is so strong and looks almost impossible to play that it's difficult, man. The util that PRX throw out here is really nice, and this is what PRX are good at. Just hardcore strats. You've got them on a valid plan, you follow them through. The util and winning your duels just give you the round for free. And poor Boo, he's just on an island. He's got a Bucky back hauls, and he is about to just get every bit of util that the game has to offer. So Yoru clone out, TP over towards back hauls, reveal, flash, Razorvine clone, raise nade for back elbow, which is also really nice because it pinches them in here. And the C's went over towards Ling, and they just take the space. Double smokes over towards Heaven and CT, so they can't even flood from CT. And it's just too easy for PRX. I do think that the speed of this hit needed to be a little bit quicker. I do think they kind of went a little bit slow because, I mean, by the time that ceases out, you could probably swing from here and help the player from back halls if Boo had a Vandal. But yeah, it's just so fast. And PRX, every single player, there's not a weak link on this team. Every single one of the players is mechanically gifted, and I just think it was a bit sloppy from Team Heretics. I do think if we're going to go back to that round, after seeing that, if I'm Boo, if I'm Nilzinho, if I'm Weber, I'm probably going to call a timeout, and I'm going to say, guys, you need to flank. That is the only way you win this game, especially on defense, because you cannot hold the sites. So your retakes have to be good. But even still, how long is it going to take you to retake? Because by the time you've retook the site against maybe Raze and something, the two duelist players, you're going to have Astra Sucks for post plant. You've probably got Razor Vines for site. You've got Fade reveals that you need to break. It's post plant central, and there's probably too much stall. So I think that fighting the back line and just going from completely behind and fighting them from behind and forcing them to either rotate towards A or plant more towards B link is honestly the answer. But I say that, and then Forsaken's over towards mid lurk. So it's honestly a really nice kind of game plan, and sort of, you can tell PRX have been practicing. Like, it's really, really clean. It'd be interesting to see them play against like a G2, an MIBR, something along those lines, and see how clean it would actually be. Something I do want to talk about as well is it's interesting to see them playing the Killjoy instead of the Vise, because I think Vise is just insanely strong, as you probably know from my videos. But the Razor Vines, everything like that, it would make PRX's life so much harder if there was Vise util across this map. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, the meta's so open, and you're just going for a default kind of comp like this. Like, I don't know. It's just a personal opinion where I'm like, playing Killjoy, really? Like, really? Is this like 2023? But it's what they decide. It's Benji's comfort, but it just didn't even get them anything. So yeah. Right. It's the next round. We're going for another B hit. PRX are running down the train track, just doing these B hits, and they look strong. Like, it's even myself, if I was playing on this B site, or if you're an IGL or a coach, it's kind of hard to adapt on the fly to what PRX is doing. Like, this is where the protocols come in, where you're going to have to say, right, okay, guys, we're going to take mid control relatively slowly, and we're just going to flank as a 3 or a 4, and then you can have 2 people playing safe over towards CT. Because just watch how strong the B hits. And bear in mind, Jink is just playing a judge, but it's the double satchels that make it so difficult with the Yoru. Jason's playing in spawn in case they do what I said, where they just try and go for the back line. But look, Yoru TP, Razor nade, Jink has a safe satchel path over towards elbow. He doesn't here. And just look at the smokes. Look at the util. They are running them down. They are mowing them so fast. It's a massive overpeak from something, but it's PRX. It's what they do. You just They just disrespect anyone and everyone they can. Like, bearing in mind, it was an eco. But if we just look at how strong this hit was, where do you play? Where do you play? The only thing that you can do is maybe have, like, as I said, Razor Vines or something along those lines. But even still, the wall can be baited out with a Yoru clone, so you can just slow the pace down. And even still, like, it's not going to fix your problems. It'll make dueling on site a lot easier, because I think that's what's difficult for for Heretics here, is you cannot fight. The fights you're getting are not clean. They're not open. You're kind of just spraying through smokes and praying. But yeah. And now it's time to see the nail in the coffin, in my opinion. Okay, this is shortly after Team Heretics take a timeout. You know, Neil, Weber, they talk to the team and say, yo, boys, this is what we've got to change. This is the adaptations I want you to make. But this is a really nice strat from PRX. Jing has ult. He's going to send it over towards B-Link and then into connector. And it's just a really nice executed strat that you do pull out straight after your opposition's taken a timeout, kind of got what they want to do and change in their head. So they've not even considered what PRX are going to do yet. And it's just nice. This Astra Smoke is honestly super, super clean. And I think if they didn't have a Killjoy and they had like a Cypher, it would probably be more of an issue. But because the turret's there like 9 out of 10 times, it kind of gives you a lot of info and forces just you to double up over towards Link. Or Connector, sorry. But Jing just sends his ult, completely hunts and searches. Benji gets traded, and they just go down like flies, but the trades are just clean every single time. And this is where it crumbles. So it's a 2v4, okay? After just before that kill, 2v4. Something goes for a Yoru ult, clears the site, clears a bit of spawn for Forsaken, and this is just where we see the PRX power come in.
Separate these two PRX players. It's going to come down to individuals, 1v1s, the cosmic divide even being used here. This is going to at least give a safe pocket for something to get that plant. He gate crashed away from the fault line. Oh, the timing for Forsaken. Minibu just has to watch too many angles. He's so scared. He knows that, you know, Forsaken could be going for him. You got two initiators up here for Heretics. Decent util for this retake, but the cosmic divide is a bit of an issue. Forsaken's going to anchor here behind this nebula. Information, though, is kind of out of date about where Heretics could be coming from. Now, a bit more of an inkling. Is he going to push this? Something happens it there from A-Main. If Forsaken does his job, that is a 5-round lead already.
They just can't be stopped, man. The confidence that these guys have is just never ending. Like, a 4 versus 2. Keep in mind, this is Team Heretics' buy round. And yes, this was an all-in for PRX, okay? They invested the Razor, the Yoru ult, the Astral Wall. They did have to win this. But I think if you're Team Heretics, you're just going to be kicking yourselves because you kind of know that things are going wrong too quick. Too quick for you even to think about and just take a second to breathe. And I think this really just kind of hit the nail in the coffin for Team Heretics because, wow, as we know, that's a big round to lose. You've just lost a timeout. You've lost the buy round going into that timeout. You're forced back onto an eco. Look at the credits. 100, 100, 100, 100, 300. Like, it's going to be, what, a 7-1 half? Like, or at that point, 7-1. And, yeah, it's just, it's rough. I mean, PRX look good, okay? They do look really, really good. And I think Icebox could have been a lot cleaner if they didn't get too over cocky. But yeah, I think fair play to Heretics. As much as I'm not a fan of Wu on Breach, I do kind of like the vision where you've got the stun line here. You could stun line for Art. You can stun for Shops, Connector. B's got a decent stun line. I just think if they started on T side, this would have been a completely different story. So I don't know why they started on CT side, but yeah, I mean, yeah, who knows? But that's it. That's going to be it for this video, all right? Very different style of content for me. in terms of doing these reviews. So let me know if you do like these kind of videos. If you do want me to do it daily for each one of the games, tell me, let me know. I will be doing Gen G versus MIBR tomorrow, because that's the game that I'm probably the most excited for. Aspas Texture, Munchkin, my go, Charon, Cortasia. It's going to be a banger. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Let me know if you're liking Masters. Let me know who you think are going to advance to playoffs. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.